Hey guys, it's Tinker Taylor here today, and we are back with another video. Today we are just doing a little grandma's cottage. It took me for the longest time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, but I thought, you know what, why not do like a little cute cottage type thing. I got the inspiration from the build next door. I have no idea what I called that one, but that's somewhere up on my channel. I'll put it up in a card somewhere so that if you guys want to watch it, you can check it out. But yeah, I thought I'd just do a cute little cottage vibe. Um, because I haven't been doing any residential builds for the longest time. I thought I would mix it up a bit. Rather than just continuously going back to the same old well, not the same old, but like just keep doing non-residential builds. I thought I'd throw in a residential build here, and I don't know, I tried to do stuff like furnish differently to how I normally would, and even the layout I would try to do a bit differently because normally I'm very much open plan and I wasn't feeling it. So yeah, I decided to do a bit of a closed floor plan. Uh just just to have fun and test it out and see what I could do with it. So there are, I believe, three bedrooms, two bathrooms in this build, and an office, which, I mean, that could easily be converted into another bedroom. And I'm sure you could find if you needed another bathroom, I'm sure you could find somewhere to put another one. I am a little rushed in this because I started it and then I had class, so I had to stop for a bit. And then obviously, I went to class, but then trying to finish it and get all the class notes done so I can get to another class later on today, which I don't know. I don't know if I'm keen for or if I'm not. I'll find out after the class if it's one that I'm interested in pursuing. But uh well, I mean, I'm not gonna not do it, but I just mean one that I'm interested in like keeping on doing. But yeah, this is pretty much the build. Not really much else to say. It's a bit odd, I'll give you that. Definitely not what I normally do, as I said before, but I don't know, I quite enjoyed doing it. Um, I was a bit annoyed with the floor plan and the windows and everything. It was just like I just couldn't get everything to sit nicely. So, I mean, there are some rooms where the windows are off to the side, and I don't like that at all. But I'm sure there are people out there who are like, it doesn't really matter or phase you. So, yeah, I'm just gonna roll with it. I also don't like the fact that there's like a room, but there's no wall underneath it. And I'm thinking I could have put an archway to fix that, but I didn't. Oh well. Yeah, it's an interesting floor plan, and I'm sure you guys could have definitely done it a lot better than the way I did. I definitely wanted to have this bathtub in because I was originally planning on having like a space for like if toddlers were coming over and having space for animals, but I kind of forgot about that once I got into it. And I also tried to avoid um just the stuff that I normally use, like the mirrors. I don't ever use a mirror that's just one tile and so small. I normally use such drastically big mirrors, as you guys would probably have seen and like would have noticed in my previous builds, but I thought, you know what, just because that's what I would use doesn't mean that's what, grandma would use. So uh yeah, I wouldn't say pick a lot of old stuff, but just things that aren't necessarily modern, I guess. Things that aren't I don't know, just things that you could have, your grandparents could have had, or your great grandparents could have had, but you can still use nowadays. If that makes any sense. And I made it so there was two bedrooms that had double beds and one with a single. So the single was kind of like if you had a grandkid coming over or something like that, and then the double or the king or whatever size this bed is, it'd be for like if the children of the grandma were coming over to visit and they needed somewhere to stay, or if the grandma had friends or other relatives come over, but they had a nice comfortable place to visit and stay in. And I wanted this room to easily be changeable so that if there was maybe an infant or something like that, you could easily change it up to have, a child or like a baby or a toddler in that room, which is why I have that chair. Because a lot of people have nursing chairs in infants' rooms. I can't remember the name of an infant room. The nursery, that's the word. Um, so yeah, I thought I'd do that. I'm also really annoyed that I couldn't have the sink and the stove scented. I mean, I could have if I had have fiddled around with everything, but I was on a time crunch, so I didn't really want to mess around too much. Um, so yeah, I definitely kind of went outside my comfort zone with this one. Um, just because I don't normally do builds like this. I mean, I do have a few that are kind of like this, but it's not typical of me. It's not what I normally want to do and what I'm comfortable doing. This office here I absolutely love. I just it's such a creative space, and the grandmother or whoever lives here can just come in and do whatever arts and crafts that she's into now that she's retired. Um, or maybe this is her job and she's not retired. It could be anything. I just I don't know, I would love to have a space like that, even though I'm not huge into arts and crafts at the moment. Probably something I will get to into the future. And I really liked the fact that I used these green armchairs and sofas that I would never use normally because, like I said, I'm trying to like branch out and use things that aren't just the typical things that I use, and that's why I've tried to avoid. Um, there's a rug that I end up using that I use a lot in other builds, but it was the only one that fit, and it's just frustrating that we can't have rugs that we like. It would be really cool if we could change the size of the rug to fit the room so that it looked good rather than being some weird size that just doesn't match the room. So yeah, it would be cool if we could adjust, and I don't know how to explain it, but like with rooms, how you could drag the arrow out, make it bigger or smaller. It would be cool if we could do that with uh rugs and carpets and things like that, so that we can actually adjust it to the size of the room. And I know that some of the patterns would be a bit distorted and whatever, but I think with some carpets you could just make it look so much nicer in that room rather than whatever gross weirdness some of these carpets are. Um, like the hallway runner I have downstairs in this room in this build, there's two of them and you can see the gap between them, but if you could drag it out, it would just be um one clean carpet, one clean running hallway carpet thing. Um, which it'd just be so much nicer. So, uh, yeah, that's something completely random that no one probably wants or thinks about, but I definitely think would make people happier if it was a thing. Because I don't know about anyone else, but they just don't fit anywhere. They just feel awkward. They don't. like there are very few spaces where they fit comfortably, and I get that there are some that fit perfectly underneath the bed, but I don't want it just to fit underneath the bed. I want it to fit maybe the entire room rather than just under the bed or half the room, or there's that awkward little space where it doesn't fit. Just the whole room, please, would be nice. And I get that in real life it doesn't work like that with like rugs that like carpets and stuff that you put on top of the floor, not the ones that are like the actual floor. But you know, this is The Sims, not real life. We could adjust things if we want, or we should be able to. Anyway, it's enough for ranting about carpets. This is the screenshots of the build. And it's pretty simple, pretty chilled. I didn't want to put too many things out because a lot of people, a lot of grandparents or people's grandparents' houses that I visit don't have a lot of things out, especially things on the floor or in the way or a trip hazard or anything like that. Especially if they have a lot of family members coming over to visit and young kids, you don't want things easy reach for young kids. So I did try and keep it a bit minimized as much as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna try and branch out and do even more different styles. Like I don't normally do Tudor styles. I've never done a Spanish styled house or anything like build or anything like that. I'm definitely gonna try and branch out. If you have any suggestions or ideas, definitely let me know down below in the comments, and I will definitely have a good look at them and try them out. But that's pretty much it for this video. So I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.